I was sipping coffee on my porch when I saw 50 cars pulling into my property like they owned the place. Music blaring, banners going up, and strangers setting tables on my lawn. Then I saw her, the HOA president, waving her clipboard like she was running a royal parade. What she didn't know. I wasn't just some quiet ranch owner. I had the county inspector on speed dial, and she was about to regret ever stepping foot on my land. Life out on my ranch was peaceful, the kind of peace you don't find in the city anymore. Every morning started the same, coffee steaming in my hand, the smell of hay in the air, and the sound of horses snorting in the barn. I'd worked for years to afford this little slice of heaven, far from nosy neighbors and endless city traffic. Out here, the loudest sound you'd hear was a rooster or the wind cutting through the open fields. For a long time, that quiet stayed unbroken. But a few months ago, things started to change. About 2 miles down the road, a new housing development started popping up. Dozens of identical homes, white fences, and people arguing about lawn colors. And with those houses came an HOA, the Homeowners Association, a group that liked to control everything from mailbox styles to grass height. At first, I didn't pay them any mind. My ranch wasn't part of their development. My property line was well outside their jurisdiction. Still, that didn't stop them from trying. I started getting letters in the mail, friendly notices, reminding me about community standards and maintaining visual harmony. Visual harmony? I laughed when I read that. My ranch wasn't a country club. I had muddy boots by the door and tractors parked in the yard. That's what real life looked like. So, I ignored their letters. I figured they'd eventually get bored and leave me alone. Then one Friday morning, everything changed. I walked out onto my porch with my usual cup of coffee, and froze. My driveway was packed with cars. Not one or two, dozens. Music was blasting, people were carrying folding chairs, and catering vans were setting up near my barn. For a moment, I thought maybe I was dreaming. Then I saw her, Linda, the HOA president. Clipboard in hand, sunglasses on, strutting around my property like she was running a 5-star resort. She was directing people where to set up tables and decorations. My tables. My lawn. My ranch. That's when I realized the peace I'd built here was about to get tested, and Linda was about to learn she'd chosen the wrong property to mess with. I didn't waste a second. I put my coffee down, tightened my hat, and started walking straight toward the chaos. My boots kicked up dust as I got closer. People were laughing, setting up speakers, and carrying trays of food across my lawn like it was a public park. Then I spotted Linda standing near a banner that said, HOA Annual Appreciation Lunch. She was in full control mode, barking orders, waving her clipboard, and pretending like she was the mayor of the county. I called out, "Excuse me, what's going on here?" She didn't even look up. "Oh, good morning," she said cheerfully, scribbling something on her clipboard. "We're hosting the HOA's annual luncheon here today. Isn't this property just gorgeous? You should be proud to be a part of it." "Part of it?" I repeated. "Lady, I don't even belong to your HOA." That made her glance up, but only for a second. "Well, you're technically within our community radius," she said. "We thought it'd be a wonderful way to bring everyone together." I crossed my arms. "You thought? You mean you decided to invade my property without asking?" Linda gave me that fake polite smile people use when they think you'll eventually cave. "Oh, don't be so uptight. It's just for a few hours. We'll clean up afterward, and it'll really boost property values in the area." I laughed, but there was no humor in it. "So, you want to boost your neighborhood's image by using my ranch, without permission, and without paying a dime?" Her tone hardened. "Mark, right? You should be happy to support your neighbors. The HOA expects cooperation from all nearby residents." I stepped closer, lowering my voice. "I'm not one of your residents. I didn't sign anything, and you have no authority here. You're trespassing." Her smile vanished. "If you've got a problem, take it up with the county," she snapped. "But right now, we're busy setting up." That was it. I realized arguing with her was pointless. So I smiled, turned around, and said, "You're right. I will take it up with the county." As I walked back toward my house, I could feel her eyes on me, still confident, still certain she could get away with it. But that confidence was about to crumble the moment my call went through. I made that call the moment I stepped inside. The county office picked up, and I asked for Inspector Harris, the man who handled my property registration years ago. I explained everything: the trespassing, the unauthorized event, the catering, the noise. He didn't even hesitate. "I'll be there within the hour," he said. While I waited, I watched from my porch. The scene outside looked ridiculous. People were taking selfies with my horses, kids running around near my fences, and some guy had the nerve to plug his sound system into one of my outdoor outlets. Linda was still parading around, completely unaware that her little community event was about to turn into a county violation nightmare. About 45 minutes later, a white county SUV pulled up my driveway. The moment those official decals came into view, I felt a wave of relief. Harris stepped out, clipboard in hand, adjusting his hat as he looked around at the chaos. "Morning, Mark," he said. "You weren't exaggerating." "Not one bit," I replied. "They just showed up and started setting up like they owned the place." He frowned, scanning the property. "You're not part of any HOA zone. This is all unauthorized use of private land. Let's go have a word." As we walked over, Linda spotted us. Her confident smile faltered for the first time. "Can I help you?" she asked, her tone clipped. "Yes," Harris said firmly. "I'm Inspector Harris from the county." "Are you the organizer of this event?" Linda straightened her shoulders. "I am. We're with the Homeowners Association. This is a community luncheon." "Do you have written permission from the property owner?" he asked. Her smile twitched. "Well, not exactly. But we've done this kind of thing before. It's a community area." "Ma'am," Harris interrupted, "this isn't a community area. It's privately owned property. You're trespassing, hosting an unpermitted event, and using commercial vendors without authorization." I watched her face drain of color. People nearby started whispering. Harris turned toward the crowd. "Everyone needs to pack up and leave immediately. If not, citations will be issued for trespassing and unlicensed activity." The party atmosphere died instantly. Music cut off. Guests began hurriedly packing up. Linda tried to argue, but Harris wasn't having it. The law was on my side, and she was finally realizing she'd picked the wrong ranch to mess with. Within minutes, the so-called luncheon turned into a full-blown evacuation. People scrambled to fold chairs, unplug speakers, and gather decorations. The sound of laughter was gone, replaced by the screech of car doors and hurried apologies. Linda, however, refused to back down. Her face was flushed red, and she marched toward Inspector Harris, waving her clipboard like it meant something. "This is outrageous," she snapped. "We've done this every year. No one's ever complained before." Harris didn't even blink. "And that's probably because no one reported it until now," he said. "You're conducting an unauthorized event on private property, without permits or consent. That's not just a complaint, it's a violation." She tried to grab the papers he was holding, but he stepped back, calm as ever. "Touch me again, ma'am, and we'll have another problem." Guests were whispering, embarrassed. Some avoided eye contact altogether, while others mouthed, "sorry," in my direction. The caterers packed up faster than I thought humanly possible, and one of the trucks nearly ran over a flower bed trying to get out. Finally, Harris handed Linda a set of citations for trespassing, noise violation, and illegal assembly. "Each of these carries a fine," he said flatly. Linda's mouth opened, but no words came out. She turned toward me, glaring like it was my fault. "You could have just talked to me," she hissed. I crossed my arms. "I did. You just didn't listen." By the time the inspector left, the ranch was silent again. The grass was trampled, but I didn't care. Watching her drive off, red-faced and defeated, was worth every second. That day, I didn't just protect my land. I made sure she'd think twice before treating someone else's property like her own. A week later, I got an official letter from the county. It confirmed that Linda and the HOA had been cited for multiple violations: trespassing, unauthorized use of private land, and hosting an event without permits. The fines weren't small either. Rumor had it the total was enough to wipe out their annual community improvement budget. But the best part? The county required the HOA to issue a written apology to me as part of their settlement. Seeing Linda's name at the bottom of that letter, right under the words, "We sincerely regret our oversight," was priceless. After that, the HOA went silent. No more letters about visual harmony, no more community reminders. The only sound I heard from that direction was the distant hum of lawnmowers and embarrassment. A few of the residents, though, weren't like Linda. Some stopped by my ranch later, offering to fix the damaged grass and clean up what their president had left behind. A couple even brought homemade pies to apologize for her behavior. That meant more to me than the fines or the apology letter ever could. Now, I've got new signs up, private property. No exceptions. And funny enough, every time I see Linda drive past, she looks the other way. No wave. No smile. Just a quick glance and a tighter grip on the steering wheel. I didn't call the county out of spite. I did it because people like her need to remember that power doesn't give you permission, respect does. In the end, I kept my land, my peace, and my dignity. And Linda. She learned that not every rancher is someone you can push around with a clipboard and fake authority. Linda thought she could use my ranch without permission, but she learned the hard way that boundaries still matter, no matter how much power you think you have. The county inspector handled the rest, and I got my peace back. If you enjoyed this story, hit that like button, subscribe for more real-life justice stories, and tell me in the comments, what would you have done if this happened on your property?